Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be covering and doing a walkthrough, so all the features that we have on BDM. So we'll log into the platform here. And I'll click to create a new pipeline so I can cycle through all of our features. So let me name the pipeline, save it. Okay. The first category that we have on BDM is the data sources. So on the data sources for this demo, we have two options for databases and two options for file and ingestion. So for databases, you have the Hive input. On the Hive input, you can ingest from Hive databases, either running on version 2 or 3 of Hive. To ingest from those databases as simple as creating your connection profile, which will include all the details from your database, the credentials, and JDBC URL of your database. You can select which mode you want to use to get data from that table, either through full ingestion of the whole table or running delta loads from that table. And we allow you to specify and select one of the tables from the list. So the tables are automatically synced, and you can select one of those tables. The other option that we have is the JDBC input. On the JDBC input, you can select from any of the drivers that we have. We have connectivity to the main relational databases and data warehouses around. So Oracle, Teradata, SQL Server, just to name a few. We can, again, allow you to select either a full ingestion or delta ingestion from those databases, which will cover the CDC area, just capturing and getting partial part of those databases. We allow you to parallelize the connections to the source database. That's also available in there. For files ingestion, we have support for files that will be either on CSV or Avro or JSON. We also have support for ORC, for Parquet files. We can ingest from all of those. And the destination and the source for those files can be either on HDFS, can also be on a local file system on one of the edge nodes, or can be on cloud storage like S3, Azure, and all the other vendors. For CSV, on BDM, we build our own driver to ingest the data, which allow you to troubleshoot and get a real view when you have fault CSV files. So in usual ingestions, you won't be able to know which line or what is the reason for a failure. And when you are working with thousands, billions of lines on a file, it's really hard to find. So that's why we built our BDM CSV connector here. Next category that we have here is the data security. On data security, we have two subcategories, masking and tokenization. I'll just show you a couple of the functions that we have there. So for masking, we have either hashing functions, where you can select your string column and do a hash of it. So for example, SHA1, SHA2, MD5, CRC2 hash, those will basically do a hash of your column and create a new volume. You can either replace or create a new column on your table using those functions. We also have functions that encode the data, like base64 or ASCII binary, that can be used. The last function that we have on masking is the multi-column masking, where you can specify several maskings in the same function. So you can select a column and select those 4 hashing functions and apply to different columns in the same job. We also have the tokenization, which is a reversible masking that we provide. So we have two categories of tokenization, the stateful and the stateless tokenization. So the stateless tokenization allows you to use a format preserving encryption, which also keeps the data, formats the data type of your column. So for example, if you have a string column, we'll keep the data in the same format, same number of characters and same format. Just to give a quick visualization, we have the tokenize, and we have the detokenize functions here. The other feature that we have on BDM is the ability to create custom functions. So if the customer requires or have a need for a specific custom function, we allow you to create your own functions either using PySpark or Scala, Java. And if you follow the BDM guidelines, you can have that function available on our own UI. So whenever you run your job, the function will be available and you can use as part of your pipeline. Data validation we have is the third category that we have on BDM, and we have 4 subcategories: completeness, value range, consistency, and cross-reference. For this demo, we have three validations on the completeness. We allow you to do a row count, column count, or a checksum. So what we'll be doing behind the scenes, BDM will be comparing whenever you run, for example, a transformation. BDM will compare the whole count, the row count before and after you run the transformation to be sure that this transformation did not corrupt your data. So you have the same number of rows before and after the transformation. The filtering with the value range validation allow you to specify any filtering for each of the columns in your data frame in your table. So for example, you could create a specific filtering that says salary can't be bigger than 10,000, for example. Which means whenever BDM finds that, it will create on the validation table one entry that will give you visualization of the faulty and the wrong rows that you have on your data set. Consistency is the third category, and we allow you to run any regular expression in this function. So this is a really powerful function because since we allow you to run regex, it has and it can cover a good amount and a different amount of options. So you can select one of the columns on the table, you can apply any regular expression, you can group those regular expression, you can create a new column if you want to save those regular expression results, and also we will be keeping those results on the validation table. For this demo, we don't have a cross-reference. So let's go to data transformations. So data transformations, BDM has close to 150 different functions available for you to use. So I will just cover a few of them just so you can understand that we can create and transform data easily on BDM. So first, the aggregate function. On the aggregate function, we have the possibility to run those different functions. So distinct count, average, count, first, something like max, mean, all those aggregation functions that you usually have available is available on BDM. And to use on BDM is basically selecting a column in a function. You can group by, basically aggregating and then grouping by, so you can select a specific column and aggregate to using that column. You can create pivot tables, Excel spreadsheet-like tables. We have basic data transformations in here. Some of them are special for BDM, which is the first row here, alias, temp view, and global trade view. Those functions allow BDM to create multiple data sets in memory during a pipeline, which allow you to ingest and connect multiple tables and also join those multiple tables. We have also simple functions and basic functions like describe, drop, sample, limit, select, sort. So all those functions and transformations are available to you. Daytime, we have dozens of date-time functions there that can be used, covering from changing dates to getting year of a date, a month, minute, transforming time zones, dates between time zones. All of that is available through BDM. Mathematical, also we have dozens of functions there where you can cover the basics from scene, cosine, log, tangent, log. So all of those mathematical functions are available through BDM, and you can add them as part of your pipeline. String text functions include concatenate, limit, simple functions like lowering and changing to uppercase, your fields and your rows. So all of those also available on BDM. Table manipulation. So those functions include joining, the most common one, but also union by name, drop duplicates, drop no's, correlation, distinct, repetition, explode, filter. So this allows you to manipulate data between more than one data set. So you can either select tables that are in memory when you use the alias in the temp view, but we also allow you to select and specify specific tables during the joining. So for example, in the join, I could select a specific table here to join with my current data set. Lastly, we have the window functions. So those are, and we leverage all the Spark window functions where you can run dense rank, lead, window count, window sum. So all those windowing functions are available through BDM and can be used to integrate. As you can see, we provide all the possibility and all the fields for you to configure those functions and get your window functions working. As I described with data security, where I said that you can create your custom masking functions, you can also create your custom transformations. So BDM allow you, if you follow BDM guidelines, to create your own transformations and have them available on BDM UI. So if you follow the guidelines, it will be automatically available on the UI without any change. And at last, we have the data destinations, which includes the same as the input. So JDBC, Hive, files output for CSV, Avro, JSON, Parquet, Org. For Hive, we support also Hive 3 and Hive Acid, where you can merge your data. So this allows you to update or run an upsert or a delete on your destination table if it is ACID enabled. And BDM also has the ability to run this job. It is when you submit the job to run, you can either run locally through a Spark on your Edge node, but also we can submit to a scheduler using the Control-M from BMC, and you can submit your job or schedule your job directly from BDM UI. Okay, this covered all the simple features and all the functions on BDM. Thanks for this video.